So real quick before I start, is my audio okay?
Yes.
Yep, you're great.
Okay.
Perfect.
It hasn't been working recently, so I was a little panicked. How are you guys doing?
Great.
We are awesome. Thrilled to have you, Tara.
Yeah. Well, welcome, everyone. We're going to start our Sunday night training. We are excited. We have a special guest, someone that we, Carrie and I both love and adore and admire and learn so much from. And it's so nice to have her here in Arizona also now. Tara Wilson, Pro9. Tara's been in network marketing for over 13 years. And, frankly, she had a great mortgage job, but she wanted more time with her family, right? And that's what we all want. It's so important, that time, right? When we have those kids and we look at them and it's like, wow, I'm working all these hours, never spending time. So looking for that freedom is so important to us. She has 3 kids, married to a wonderful husband. And she's done over 200 million in sales. Woo! Amazing stuff. And she's just got back from a mastermind with Eric Worre. So I know she's got tons of nuggets, is all fired up. She's like, I got some new stuff I want to share. I'm like, yes, we want to hear it. So I'm going to turn it right over to you because it's so important. Time is precious. And so bless us, Tara. And thank you so much for taking the time to bless our team here.
You got it. My pleasure. How's everyone doing? Okay, so I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do because I do have this great new training. It's really fun. It's you guys have well, I'll let you choose in a minute, but I did just get back from Eric Worre's. But for those of you who don't know me, yes, I've been in the network marketing industry for 13 and a half years. And I keep this picture on my desk. I have 3 kids. My son is a junior at UCLA and he will be 21 in November. Ooh, I don't know how that's possible. I'm like 29, but anyway, and then I have daughters that are 14 and 11, but this was what they look like when I started network marketing. She was 1 and she was actually 11 months and he was 7. And I hated dropping her off. I remember when I had to go back to work because I was a stay-at-home mom with my son and then I was a stay-at-home mom with my third one, but my middle one, I remember having to go back to work and it was so painful. And my breaking point, and I'm actually going to be in an upcoming book, The 4-Year Career, the 12th edition. It features my story and also a book called Momentum Makers. I have a chapter in. I share my story because we all have that one moment. Like Maria said, I had a great job. My husband and I made over $250,000 a year combined. We had no debt. We had our 401ks. We had our vacations. But I hated not seeing my kids. And so what I saw network marketing is like, wow, I can make money from home. I can still work. I can make money. And I can be with my kids more. I can volunteer in their classrooms. But anyway, the moment was I went to pick up my daughter and she took her first steps. And my nanny, not being from the US, and I think there's a lot of cultures around the world where that's normal because, like grandparents and stuff help out, but it wasn't normal to me. And so that's when I decided to call my sister back and say, okay, this thing you have, and hit the ground running. And within 7 months, I quit my job. And within 9 months, I replaced my 6-figure income. Within 15 months, my first company, I tripled it. And before I go off onto the topic, we're going to talk about Go for No. But before I do that, I want to say that the global is coming. We have no excuse not to get every single soul on our teams there. The one thing that we hear all the time is, oh, I don't have the time or I don't have the money. This is right from your computer. I'm sure there's many leaders on the team that have free tickets. If you're struggling financially, like I've given out all 4 of mine. My husband and I registered a long time ago. And like, I just can't wait. And I'm telling you right now, I know what's going on behind the scenes. I know it's launching. And I'm telling you right now, this will be the moment our company goes into momentum, because I can't say why, but like with all the things launching, when you put it all together and we get strategy coming, I don't know about you, but I am going to, my people are going back to everyone on their list and they'll have a good reason to. So when I say that is 13 and a half years ago, because I was working and I didn't want to spend more time away from my kids, about 2.5 months in, I was probably the equivalent of like a Pro 3, to be honest, like Pro 3, maybe Pro 4. And this was June. I've been in about 2.5 months and I was making probably around $400 to $500 a month. So probably like equivalent of like a Pro 3. And my upline said to me, you need to go to the convention. It's in Salt Lake City. And I was like, no, I don't have the time off. And it was, $185 for a ticket and it was a plane and it was a hotel. And I had the money, but I didn't see the value. And she said to me something that I believe was one of the things that changed my life forever. She said, if you go this year, you may not ever have to ask somebody for time off again. How would that feel? And I was like, okay. So I literally played hooky, got in trouble, but I went and I said, oh, I'm going to be a diamond by December. I was in the same company as Carrie Dickey. That's how I know her. And I remember the big rank was kind of like a Pro 7, Pro 8 rank. It was, oh gosh. Carrie, we were in, what was diamond? It was like, it was probably around $150,000 to $200,000 a month in sales. So imagine being a Pro 8 in June and saying, a Pro 3 in June and saying, I'm going to be a Pro 8 by December. And I hit it in October. Because the belief that I had coming out of that event and the action that I took. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen. Hold on. I want to see the chat. Hi. Hold on. I got a couple sips of my Axial. Wake up my brain for y'all. I'm going to teach. Okay. So one of the books that has changed my life, there's probably 5 or 6 core books that I tell everyone to read. Number 1, I think everyone that's in their first year of network marketing should read Your First Year of Network Marketing. I did, and it helped. I think everyone should read a book called Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life if you have mindset problems by Brian Tracy. I've read this and reread it and trained out of it. I got this in 2007 when I joined. My sister gave it to me and she said, this is going to change your life. Go for No, How to Win Friends and Influence People, and Think and Grow Rich. Those are my 5 best. And then there's I have read, I'll show you my little library. I've got 40 more in my room. I've read, I listen, I audio, I'm constantly learning. And it's so funny because the more successful I get, the more I want to learn. Isn't that funny? You think there's some point you'd be like, I got it. You never got it, right? So I'm good friends with, I don't want to say good friends, but very close with Andrea Waltz, who was actually one of the co-authors of Go for No. Anybody read Go for No? It's so small. Yeah, it's like 70 pages and you can read it in like an hour and a half, and it's life-changing, right? And it's a concept that if you can change the way you feel about no, you can literally change your life, right? So I read the book, I had her on team calls, and she actually featured me in the version Go for No for Network Marketing, which was also on my desk. Yeah, here it is. Because I had a great rejection story. Funny story is 1 month after this published, the girl that I had been telling the rejection story was one of my best friends of 27 years. 27 years. We were in each other's weddings, at each other's high school graduations, college graduations. She was in the room with my sister, my mom, and my mother-in-law when my child was born. That's how close we were. And she rejected me so harshly through email, though her husband really did. And I told that story because I almost quit. It was my first week. And it destroyed me because all of my family was already in my first company and all of my friends said no. She was my one gimme. She had a, jewelry business. I knew she was an entrepreneur. I knew she wanted to do something. She had 2 little boys. And that no almost took me out of my game. 6 million. I've earned $6 million in network marketing. That one rejection almost cost me $6 million. But I sat there and I got through it. And so anyway, 1 month, I had been telling that story because everyone's got a best friend. Everyone's going to get let down. Everyone's going to get rejected by that one person that's going to destroy their soul. That was mine. So over 9.5 years, I had told that story probably over 200 or 300 times from stage. And so when she joined, they're like, oh, you're Angie? 1 month after that was published, she joined me, and now she's almost Pro 8. And even though she's my best friend, I have given her very, very little volume. So very little overload. She's done it all. She's an extraordinary leader. So anyway, this is brand new. I recommend it for anyone who's a leader. It's on Amazon. It's called The Go for No Leader. It's how to coach, develop, encourage go for no behaviors and improve team performance. It's really small. It's like 60 pages. And she sent it to me as a thank you for having her on my team call. And it has been revolutionary. So you guys want to learn a few of the principles? You ready? Say yes. Woo. Okay, Carrie, I love your smile. Look at Carrie. Oh, I got a hat on. You guys, if you would have saw me like 20 minutes ago, I literally look like death. I came back from Vegas this morning on a 6:30 flight. I mean, I haven't slept. Anyway, go for no leader. All right, let me share my screen. Hi, there's 100 people on. Okay, so someone's got to make me a co-host or just enable. I think you can enable it on my little dots. Hey, everyone.
While Maria's doing that, I gotta say, so Tara, like you said, I met you in that previous company, and I remember you were pregnant when you were doing a training that I met you at, and you just blew me away from the very moment that I met you. And so when you came here, just so excited. I remember being on the FAB thinking, wow, I sat there watching Tara Wilson, here we're on the FAB together.
Oh my God.
Just thank
Yeah,
the
I was
world
pregnant with
that
my third child, right? Yeah.
Yep.
That's funny. Yeah, no, I'm so glad. I'm so grateful. By the way, I was not on Carrie's team. We just met each other cross-line, and like Carrie and Sharice Matthews, and we went on the diamond vacations together, and I just fell in love with like who they were. So, all right, let me share my screen. I'm so proud of myself, by the way. If anyone's prolific, anyone really good at PowerPoint, like anyone thinks like they're good. Okay, Dr. Mars, okay, so you're gonna laugh at me. Like I've been doing presentations, sorry, I have a really dry note, like I have allergies right now. I have been in network marketing for 13 years. I have created so many PowerPoints, and I'm the kind of person that goes and like screenshots, and I like make the most ghetto presentations. So I didn't know, I don't know how long it's been there. There's a little feature called design ideas. Oh, wait till you see this. I'm like, I feel like a professional right now. So I just want you to know I'm patting myself on the back because I did make the most kick-ass presentation. So, oh, what happened? Where do we go? Are you seeing it?
Yep, we see it.
We see it.
Okay.
It's not in presenter view though.
Yeah, I will put it in presenter view. I hate when people do that. So do you just see the whole screen now?
Nope,
Yep, now
you're
we
good
see
now.
Okay, so here's Go for No Leader. That's what the book looks like. Okay. All right, so why go for no? These are just some of the principles. Because it's something we definitely learned to hate and to fear, because as children, how many, I know everyone is a mom, they're like, oh my God, Mom, can I have a cookie? No. 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 Can I have a cookie? Like, well, if you stop bothering me, right? That actually worked a few times for me. I had one friend, and it was like my friend's husband, and he had done like Zango or some other juice or something. And he goes, are you ever going to stop bothering me? And I said, I will if you just do me a favor and go to the meeting, and then I'll stop bothering you. So I literally was like, you got to listen, you got to spamming him. Like, he's like, oh, but I saw it, right? And so I was really aggressive at first, but this is going to teach you how to go for no without being aggressive. So, but anyway, no is one of the things that causes most people to quit. This is one of the biggest, sabotagers of our industry is no, because people are not naturally fearless. They learn it. There's people on your team right now. There's people that are going to come into your team this week, this month, next month, in November, December, all year, that are going to be so scared to call the maid of honor in their wedding, or their mom, or their cousin, or their best friend. Or their spouse, right? People are not naturally. So what if we could change the way people view the word and get your team better results? Isn't this so good? Look at my graphics and everything. So let's talk about the 5 levels of failure. 80% of people are here and they never move past here, which is why one of the best principles I ever learned is, I think it was in Brian Tracy's book, this one is like, there's so few people at the top because nobody even tries to get there. The easiest thing to do is get to the top because there's no competition, you guys. So 80%, everyone has number one is the ability to fail. We all do. That's like, hey, if I call someone or get rejected, or I, do something wrong, everyone has the ability to fail. That's you're defaulted into this one, right? But people have a strong desire to avoid failure at any cost. In fact, if you look at the 4 most biggest fears of humans across all cultures and all countries, number 1 is fear of rejection. Number 2 is death. Number 3 is failure, like not being good. And number 4 is ridicule. So our people have to kind of almost go through 3 of the 4 biggest fears of all humans if they want to be successful. And then we wonder why people quit, right? So number 2 is the willingness to fail. So fewer than 20% make it here. Fewer than 20%. So that I want to share the most craziest thing with you guys. So I've been on Eric Worre's mastermind now, the Poes, the Cunninghams, the Campbells, Rachel Jackson or Rachel Pecker, Greg Deeker, and then our big leader, Charlotte. There's 7 of us on there. And we all, there were a lot of us there this weekend, and we were just literally talking about, all this stuff coming. We're so excited. We're going to do a lot of collaborating. Oh, it's going to be good. But there was a woman who just joined our mastermind. Are you guys ready for this? She makes 1.2 million a month in a supplement network marketing company. Why don't you chew on that? Like, put it in your mouth and chew on that. 1.2 million a month. That's $15 million a year. There's a woman that's training, that's going to be training. Oh, and don't forget, Maria, write this down. Don't forget, because I can't find a pen, to remind you about the new GoPro recruiting challenge that Eric Warren's going to be doing for free. It's a 7-day challenge starting on November 11th. It's free. It's 7 days. And he's like, it will double your team. If you got 100 people on your team and you get them all in there and they recruit one person, you'll double your team, right? Okay, so, but anyway, she makes 1.2 million a month. You know why she makes 1.2 million a month? She's very, almost like, not crazy at all. Real loud, energetic, freestyled, beautiful Black woman. I think she's from Atlanta. She literally has like 80,000 different wigs. She's got the cars and the bling, and she's just real, but she cares about people. And they started a team mission called 1,000 Families. She's like, we want to help 1,000 families have financial freedom. And their team walks around with those shirts. And you know what expectations she sets? I think we're way too easy on our people, you guys. You know what the expectation to get on her team is? You go enroll 100 people your first 30 days, because 20% of them will stay. And now you have 20 people to build a business for. We're like, hey guys, you could go get to Pro 2 in 30 days. That's 2 platinums, or 2 platinums and a gold. They're selling $1,400 packs, and she's going, go enroll 100 people in your first 30 days. Imagine if your team thought a little bit bigger, how much more momentum. That's why she's making 1.2 million a month. I think she's only been in her company like maybe 5 years, 6 years. I don't know, not long ago. But people who go here, and I would imagine it's everyone that's probably a Pro 2 and above in the company, they accept the failure as necessary to success, right? Because one of the biggest misconceptions is people see the road and they're like, oh, I'm failing. I'm going to stop and go to a different road. No, you stay on that road, because the same road has the successes. You've got to keep doing the thing, right? John Maxwell always said, you got to go dirt, 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 gold. Dig through dirt, 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 gold. Dirt, 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 dirt. Might be 20 dirts in a row. Gold. Same process, right? So you got to accept it as necessary and be willing to fail. If you do that, you're going to be better than 80% of the people. The 3, and this is probably where I'm actually level 5. And so is Maria, and so is Carrie, and so are the Poes, and so is Carrie Dickey, and a lot of your Pro 8s, 9s, and 10s, is the wantingness to fail. We actually want to hear no more often, right? Because if you track anything, and we also got Eric Worre's neighbor came over, and he's a billionaire with a B, and he said, we track everything. And I remember one of the biggest legends in network marketing, who's actually gonna be on our team call tomorrow, Richard Blissbrook, who wrote The 4-Year Career, and he wrote Mach 2, like best-selling author. He's incredible. He said, I'll tell you the successful people in the room, watch. Who is the most successful people in the room? And we gave a couple ranks, and they all raised their hand. And he's like, okay, now put your hand. Now, if you track your numbers, like if you know how many people on your list, how many in your funnel, how many you say yes and no, raise your hand. It was only the people in the room that were successful. Why don't we track it? Because if you make 100 phone calls, and let's say you get 60 people to an overview, or watch the ABC primetime, and then you get 30 to an overview, and you close 10, we know that it's going to take 100 contacts to enroll 10 people, right? I'm talking distributors, not customers. And so you got to track it. And, you got to track your no's, because let's say every 10 people you talk to, and whether you sign them as a customer or distributor, let's say you get 6 no's and 4 yeses, which I think is probably pretty accurate. I don't know, would you guys agree? I think Carrie uses those numbers. Then you know that every 6 no's, there's probably 4 yeses coming, and they might be shuffled up. And so the wantingness to fail is saying, okay, well, I know that I have to fail, because there is no yes without the possibility of there being a no. There is no yes without the possibility. There's two outcomes, yes or no, right? And faith that personal and financial growth will follow the more you hear no. And again, less than 5%. So that's probably your pro 5s and above would probably be, here. Number 4 is failing bigger and faster. If failing is good, failing faster is better, right? You can use it to achieve your bigger goals. Erica Dale, she's a pro 7 on our team. She did Eric Worre's 20 and 30 recruiting challenge in January. She had 600 Facebook conversations and enrolled 31 people. 600 Facebook, and they were cold though. They were, hi, are you open to looking? It was like spammy, but she enrolled 31 people, right? And then, level 5 is failing exponentially. And these are where the bigger leaders are at, is that we know that for the team's success, we have to get everyone failing more often. Because a team is not built by one person. Many hands make light work, right? I've got a team of over 80,000 people. I didn't bring more than 150 of them into the business. Does that make sense? So you can't do it all yourself. You've got to get people hearing and being okay with the word no. So they did a really good poll on what are the biggest fears of salespeople, right? We are salespeople. And I don't think that's an ugly word, because selling is we'll talk about it, but selling is nothing more than giving a person enough information to make a decision. That's it. That's what sales is. When people say I'm not a salesperson, yes, you are. Everybody is a salesperson. If you're married, you had to sell your husband. You had to give him enough information to make a decision to marry you. If you're kids, you're selling all day long. You're going to sell them on doing their homework. You got to sell them on going to bed. You got to sell them on brushing their teeth, right? Everybody's a salesperson. Selling is nothing more. It's not a tactic. It's not a skill. Selling is getting people information to make a decision. Now, we all know some salespeople that use clever tactics. We'll talk about that, and it's ugly. But for the most part, selling is a beautiful profession. So what are the biggest fears? 51% said the customer would say no or reject them. So rejection is huge. 22% said upsetting people by coming across pushy or aggressive. Then it's like, then just don't, right? Just don't. 18% not making the sale. So if you look, half the reason why people are fearful is just getting the word no. Half. So think about it. I think that it's very fair to say that everyone that comes into your organization could have at least a minimum of 100 people on a list to 150 of people they know best, because I've been to a lot of weddings in my life, and most of them average 200 people. You didn't bring them off the street. They're your family and your friends, right? Your network. So 50%. I mean, think about how, if we got really good at this, how much your organization, only 9%, little fraction was concerned that the product wasn't right for the customer. And that's okay. If someone comes to me and says, I'm allergic to turmeric, well, that automatically is no skincare, no Nerf 2. I'm not going to try to get them to take that. You understand? Or if someone's like, I don't swallow pills, I don't know, whatever reason, if it's not right for them and they're telling me that, I'm okay to walk away. We're going to talk about that in a second too. What is the quality of a great salesperson? 38% said the willingness to face rejection. So that's, very highly favored. 22% said the ability to close the sale. And I have, remind me if I don't do this because my brain's all over the place, but I have never had a closing line. I've never tried to close somebody. And when I talk about like the 4 types of closing, I don't close people. People close themselves, by the way. 18% said communication or negotiation. So only 5% said product knowledge. So if you look at that, 95% of what makes somebody excel in the profession is not product knowledge. And Tyler Daniels did a great job at proving that. He will be the first one to tell you, I don't know anything about it. That's it. He goes, people don't, know, they don't always come and look under the hood. Some people just see the ABC Primetime Investigative Report. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen Tyler's incredible video on what's more important, timing, compensation, or what was it? He's like, is timing most important? Yes. And he's like, disproves them all. He's like, if you had the cure for cancer, like the actual cure for cancer, price of the product was the other one. and I said, I have a pill. And if you have any kind of cancer and you take this pill, your cancer's gone the next day. Are you in? How many people would be in? Right? Until you hear that you've missed the timing because everybody who needs the product already has it. You have to literally sit around and wait for new cancer patients. That wouldn't be very fun. So now you're out, right? So now let's say you got, and it's only $10. Now does cost matter, right? So now let's say you've got the cure for cancer, but it's $1 million. Are you in or you out? You're not in. Who can afford it? Very small, right? He said, you could be selling paper plates, right? You could literally be selling paper plates. It doesn't matter if you build enough value and nobody knows about it, the market's wide open and the price is fair and the compensation, getting compensation, it doesn't matter what you sell. It's never, I don't know if you guys ever followed Tony Robbins. He goes on and on about this. He said, it's never who's best, it's who's best at marketing. So I know so many, we were talking about this amongst a bunch of other leaders the other day, is like, there's so much paralysis analysis in this company because people feel like they have to know all the sirtuin theories of aging and the NAD. And I just talked to a guy who's enrolled over 1,000 people into his company in 3.5 years. He's the #1 recruiter worldwide for that company. And they use a 4-minute sizzle video and a 3-way call. That's it. And he goes, nobody needs to know. He goes, we don't even talk about the product. I go, where do you do product education? He goes, we don't. That's for getting customers. He goes, we build a team and then the people get their family and friends on customers. But he's like, we don't. And I was like, what? He goes, it's a business opportunity. It's like McDonald's. You go to McDonald's, you buy it, you push buttons, you push the fry button, you get fries, you push the hamburger button, you get a hamburger. It's predictable, right? Okay, so 5%. So you don't have to know, you just have to know how to be connecting people. That's it. Connecting people to the tools, the new tools we're gonna have. Who's excited for new tools? All right. What is harder, making a first call or a follow-up call? 27% making initials, 37% said following up someone who's already said no in the past. So no is a big realistic fear, and it is eroding your teams. It is, something that it took me a long time until I read that book. I was scared to get no, and I had made a couple $1 million before I made that, read the book. So it's damaging over time, right? Only 10% or so are naturally an entrepreneur, fearless. Maybe went through some kind of sales or was, in kind of some kind of profession before. Like I was in mortgage, I was in sales. I was constantly telling people like, hey, these are my rates. This is your loan. This is what, I was used to doing that. I also did copier sales, but you don't have to have sales experience, but it probably helped me become more fearless. So I had a little experience, but everyone can become fearless, right? But no, over time is high turnover. It's the MLM graveyard. It's why so many people end up in the MLM graveyard, right? Decreased prospecting, which is decreased sales, decreased motivation, and then people quit. You ever notice that? I know Maria Carey, you've got a little bit bigger bird's eye view, but I can literally set my clock to when someone comes in and they come in, they're enrolling customers and maybe a distributor, they go to Pro 3, and then you see them stop posting and then they stop recruiting and they're out. A cycle is sometimes 3 to 6 months. I call it the waves. It's the person that goes like this, like Kristen Bailey, for example. I don't know if you guys have that. She's Pro 6, almost Pro 7. She has never, ever in 2.5 years, almost 3 years now, been in the business. Every day, every single day, you will never have to ask if Kristen Bailey's in or out. Every day she's posting on Facebook, every day on her stories, every day on her Instagram. All right. So keeping that. And then there's another gal in the room called Jessie Lee Ward. She's Improve It, ketones, which by the way, a lot of people that are ketone experts says it's not possible to do that. Like Dr. Campbell, Skip Campbell said that. He's like, it's not even possible to do that. It's not even possible. But she made $459,000 last month selling ketones that are $10 a day. So there's no such thing as too expensive. It costs $300 a month for their customer to stay on their product. So there's all these fears, there's all these lies in our head, but her team's in activity. So skill set and mindset. People must be taught the necessary skills. You do. You really should know how to use a tool. You should know how to follow up. You should know how to use a calendar. You should know. And I think the best book for that is The 7 Skills of Network Marketing, taught by GoPro. It's a palpable book that I have read and reread over and over again. And if you haven't read that yet, and you really, really want success and you really want to go beyond where you are, You've got to change the amount of time you invest in yourself. You got to invest time and money. And sometimes it's very little money. I go to YouTube and get free stuff all the time. GoPro is $7. It gives it to you free. You have to pay shipping. So you got to invest in yourself, because if you had everything you needed to go where you wanted to go, you would already be there. You got to up level. Okay. Yeah. And then for you, let's say you have a team, and I'm talking, if you have one distributor on your team, you are a leader. A leader is when you make a decision to be responsible for the results in your team. So you learn how to go for no, and then you teach people. You learn the skill set, you get the mindset, or you guys do it together, right? But you must help your people develop the mindset, because if they don't have the mindset, they won't use the skills. I could teach my 11 and my 14-year-old how to do what I do. I could teach probably an orangutan to do what I do. I'd be like, oh, push the button. You know, like I literally could probably teach a monkey to do what I do. Everything we do in network marketing is easy to do. It is elementary. It's just easier not to do. And that's where mindset comes in. That's where this stuff comes in. If you don't believe you can get there, you'll never try, right? So people are not paid to hear the word yes. If everyone said yes, the company wouldn't need us. You're literally getting paid to go out and hear no's. And you're getting paid good. I want to use this example. Are we good on time? Are we good so far? I don't have a time limit or anything? I don't know. I've made $6 million and in 13 years. And let's just pretend I've enrolled about 600 people. I was kind of thinking about the other day in the companies I've been in, and distributors. I've probably enrolled 600 probably distributors and customers, you know, and I remember it was 80 my first company, it was like around 80 my second company, probably a couple hundred my third, and probably a couple hundred here. So let's just say, I'm going to round up. It's probably like 400, but let's say it's 600. Okay. So if I offered you $100, I do this all the time in like trainings. I have 100 people in the room. I was like, who will go out and make a list of $100? If I gave you $100 to go talk to everyone about LifeVantage, how quickly would you do that? And everyone said yes. Why? Because it's $10,000. I promise you guys this. If you go have professional, intelligent, high quality conversations with 100 people, you will make $10,000 a month. Because here's the bottom line. It takes, like Deb Erickson, I know she's worked with her team a lot. She says it takes about 5 to 7 years to become world class. People don't last 5 to 7 phone calls, you guys. We got to get them. Eric Roy says this all the time. You got to get them to stay in long enough to learn the skills and to grow the mindset. Okay. So the 6 go for no, and I'm not going through all these today. I'm just going to go through a couple concepts, but communicate it, learn it. I would highly recommend you guys get this, the workbook. If you're a leader, I say if you're even a pro 3 and above, because you want to incorporate it in the culture of your team. You want to, change the negative stigma people have around selling. You want to coach people rather than cheer them on. You want to challenge them out of their comfort zone. You want to celebrate the behaviors. Hey, high five, Julie. You went out and talked to 10 people today. She didn't get a yes, but it doesn't matter because those behaviors will get her yeses. Everyone high five Julie. And then walk the talk. I pride myself on always trying to enroll every single month. And when I don't, I feel like, ugh. So communicate it off at team meetings, emails, social media, one-on-one conversations. Every single person I coach personally, when they call me and say, Tara, I'm in a slump or whatever, I talk to them about this. I talk about what is your fears. And they also have, we're not going to get to this because it's too much, but they have all these coaching questions you can ask your people. Like, what do you think about when you hear several no's in a row? How do you feel when you hear several no's in a row? You got to get people to acknowledge that there's even a fear right there, right? On a scale of 1 to 10, what is your current level of negative emotional reaction to getting a no, right? What are you doing to get more prospects in your pipeline? How consistently are you following up with qualified prospects that have told you no? How many prospects you currently have in your pipeline? These are good qualified questions. And then you can help your people and then find out when they're tracking their numbers, like, okay, Susie, you got 100 people in the door, but you only closed 3 of them. Where are we breaking down, right? Because the new system going forward, which I just want to do a backflip right now, is invite, tool, team. Invite. You're really only going to have to be good at getting people invited, getting them to the new tool, and plugging in with the team. And that's what this one gentleman who's enrolled over 1,000 people said. He goes, I get people just to get them on a 4-minute video and put them on the phone with us, and we close them all. We close 90% of the people that come across our 3-way call. And then if we do follow-ups, we'll do Zoom. He goes, I forbid my people to do Zooms on the first contact. And I was like, why? He says, because we need to go through numbers. What if you don't look pretty, Tara? What if it's 8 a.m. and you're just like still in your pajamas? You're not taking a Zoom. I'm like, you're right. He's like, exactly, but I'm taking a call. I'm like, oh my gosh. He's like, there's a lot of people out there, older people for sure, don't even know how to use Zoom. It's technology difficulties, this and that. He's like, everyone can do a call. Everyone has one of these. Everyone can add call and do them. I'm like, that is so great. Anyway, events, recognition, reward behaviors, you guys. Make a culture of rewarding the behavior. So let's change the negative stigma around selling. I love that because I spent a lot of time with Eric Worre and all the people. I've never felt so much collaboration. I was in a room with 50 people. The average income was a little lower than I make. So the average income was like $800,000-900,000 a year. There were people in that room that are making $3 to $5 million a year. And there's people in there that have enrolled personally 5,000 people. And everyone's sharing ideas. It was a mastermind. It was collaboration. Because they're like, you're not my competition. The only competition we have is the people in our own company. That's really, because we're all, trying to get our market share for LifeVantage, right? Because I'm not competing with someone who sells makeup or jewelry. I'm not competing for that space, right? But you guys, we have over 2 billion people in our current open markets, and not even 3 million people in the life of LifeVantage have ever come in our door. We got a lot of freaking work to do. Even if they were all in Arizona, I'd still have 4 million people to talk to, and the rest of the world. 330 million people in our country, and less than 3 million people worldwide. We have a lot of freaking work to do. 99.99% of people have never heard about this. They're going to soon though. All right, selling is the largest profession in the world, is one of the highest paid professions. I don't think we talk about money enough. I think it's amazing that Carrie Dickey, who started as a personal trainer and a mom, makes 200,000 or whatever, 180, 200,000 a month. You know, Rachel and I are making around 80,000 a month. I've got people, the stay-at-home moms that make 15 a month, 40,000 a month, 20,000 a month, 6,000 a month. And it's changed their lives. Where else Carrie and Maria and I, let's say average income is, whatever, on the income disclosure statement, 50 grand a month, 60 grand a month, whatever it is. Where else could we make that money? My son is at UCLA, and in 16 or 14 years now, he hopes to go through med school, pre-med, med, and then 8 years of residency to be a brain surgeon. You know what the starting salary of a brain surgeon right now is? $780,000. Even if you take my entire career of 13 and a half years, it's still shorter, and I don't have to cut open human brains to make almost $1 million a year. There's no better profession, and I was able to raise my children and help people get financial freedom. I think this is the best profession. But it is also ranked above one of the top 10 most hated profession. Even salespeople hate salespeople, right? So there's 4 selling types. The adversary. This is the only goal of an adversary. These are the kind of people that make network marketing and sales bad. Their only goal is to get you to give them their credit card. They don't care if you said, hey, I'm going to move to the Costa Rican jungle for the next 5 years next week, and I won't have any contact with human or no internet. They'll still try to get you to buy a platinum somehow, right? People tell you, people are telling you their life, listen to it. Someone says, I'm about to have a baby in 2 weeks, probably not the best time to start a business. You know what I mean? Maybe let's start it, a few months, right? Or I'm getting married or whatever life is. But if they say, hey, I've got all this time in the world, that's when. But these people are responsible for the negative stigma. This is the one that most people don't even realize that they fall under, that is doing nothing for them or the company or their team. They will pass on the sell even if they fully believe that the customer needs a product, because they leave feeling good about themselves. They're the friend. They will walk away. It's like your friend's like, I got arthritis, I have migraines, and all these things. I got eczema, all of it stemming from inflammation, and you fully believe that your products, getting them on the Tri-Synergizer, will better them. Or you see them telling you spend, $2 a day on Monsters, which is $60 a month, but then they kind of go, oh, at a bag of Axio for $50. And then instead of just explaining to them, you'll go, oh, it's okay, don't worry. Even if you feel that the business opportunity or the products are good, you'll walk away. So many people do this, you guys, and it's not a win-win, okay? Then there's a pretender. They're not doing anything. They're literally just pretending. They'll show up. They'll be on all the calls. They might wear the hat, like my new hat. Dustin just sent this to me. They might even come to the events. I have people that I can't believe they're still in. Like this one guy, bless his heart, he gets me on a 3-way call maybe every 7 months, and he probably enrolls one person every 8 months. And I'm like, why is he still here? Maybe he just loves the product, right? But I mean, that's even a better case. Pretenders are literally doing nothing, but maybe they're here. I'll take a whole team of 10,000 pretenders, because if they're on auto ship and they just need the community, I'm okay with that, but they don't really bring any value to the team. And here's the one that you want to strive to be, as the advisor. The attitude going into it that both parties must win. So you're assertive. Like when my friend Angie, who rejected me, when she came to me like almost 4 years ago, she said, hey, I've got chronic back pain. It's debilitating. And when it flares up, I can't do anything. And she's, it was at the time, she was probably, early 40s, and just really active, 2 teen sons now. And she's like, I've tried everything from, chiropractic, massage, what are those needle things called? Acupuncture, everything. Only a really heavy pharmaceutical. She's like, I don't want to be poisoning my body to feel good. I don't want to be taking ibuprofen. It's got, she goes, do you really think your product will help? See, I had the opportunity to be a friend, and I said, I can't guarantee it, but I fully believe with all of my heart, Angie, it'll make a massive difference. 3 weeks later, she became a customer. 3 weeks later, she called and crying. She's like, I've been sitting here, and every day I wanted to call you, but I'm like, I'm going to wait 3 weeks. And she's like, my pain is gone. And I'm like, I know, because my neck pain's gone, and my knee pain's gone, and my tooth pain's gone. So I know your pain was going to be gone, but I can't guarantee it, because I don't know what else you do. You could be doing all kinds of crazy bad things in your body. So you have to have the attitude that both parties must win. You got to be assertive, never aggressive, right? And if you believe the customer needs the product, that's when you go for no. So someone comes to you and says, I have really horrible hair and I've spent so much money, and you know that there's other stories on the team that were similar to this person's, then you feel confident in giving them on the hair care or the skin care or the energy. Like, you see it, and you get there by asking questions. You get there by connecting and, asking. And I know I talked about this on one of the Success Masteries, but one of the other Go for No principles that really is something that could probably grow your sales every time by 50 to 80%. Most people don't open their entire store to their network because they're uncomfortable with the price tag. I'm not. I probably spend at least $700 a month for me and my family. Axio, I drink twice a day. All 4 of us are in Tri-Synergizer. I use the hair care. I use the skin care. My dogs use the Pet Tandem, right? I love the products. I was already spending money on hair care. I was already spending more money on skincare. I was already doing things for energy. I was already spending, it's redirecting the money. But what happens is they get to their comfort zone, like, oh, $125. They feel bad, even though your friend's like, oh, what else do you got? Sell them your whole store. Do you use skincare? Yes, I do. Well, great. I don't want you to waste it, because if you get a new one, you might stop holding your one. Why don't we do this? Why don't you give me an idea of when you think you might be through your current regimen, and then you can try it? How many women on your team or in your contact list or on the company? And I know it's a lot, because 60% of the company's on Nerf 2 still. 60% of the company's still ordering Nerf 2. It's like, is that all you talked about? Like, you know what I mean? But again, I have some people that every single time they enroll a customer, it's $300 to $500. Why? Because they're like, do 2 of you want to be healthy? Do you have kids? Are they using Axio? And the kids, got to keep asking questions, because if you believe that the products will help them and they'll enjoy them and have benefit from them, this is where you got to be the advisor. You got to know your stuff. And that's next level. But before you do know your stuff, put them in your Facebook groups, ATM them, tag and message, right? Get them on the phone with your beautiful upline, right? Everyone should strive to be there. This is a win-win for both people. So encouraging the advisor style minimizes sales stigma. People don't feel creepy. They don't feel pushy. They feel like they're doing something good for somebody. Your team feels part of the solution, right? Your mission of getting everyone on flipping their switches, and it furthers your mission. So one thing, and I think this is almost it, is, and I'm talking to all of you that are Pro 3 and above, because when I was the equivalent of a Pro 3, I was my own upline. I was the closest upline in my Monaviba's, my first business, was 4 hours away from me. And so, and this was before Zoom. This was before social media. This was before YouTube. This was before smartphones. So I didn't really get a whole heck of I jumped on the conference calls and stuff. So I had to learn to be my own coach for my own team, right? Because your people need to learn the skills so that when I signed somebody up, I told them everything that I was doing. And it's about to be really easy in 1 week. There's gonna be no confusion. Oh, I got a doctor, what do I send him? I got a plumber, what do I send him? I got a girl, I got an acrobat, what do I send him? I got a helicopter pilot, what do I send him? Everyone's going to be getting the same thing. You won't be confused in a week from now. And so this is where it's critical, knowing you're going into the convention, you're going to get a customer referral program, you're getting new tools, you're going to get a new system and a whole bunch of other stuff, apps and so much cool stuff, is you have to learn how the process, and you have to constantly be teaching the process. Because us Pro 9s, when you have thousands of people coming into organization or hundreds of distributors, I can't possibly connect individually with every person. I can't possibly be running through them. So we got to rely on you. And that's the fastest way, Pro 3, the road to Pro 5 is 4 Pro 3s, right? The road to Pro 7 is 20 Pro 3s. Find 20 people that will do a push and play system and want to make $500 a month to change your life. And you're a Pro 7 changing your life with 150,000 a year, right? Coaching is critical, but more than 75% of leaders spend less than 5% of their time coaching. And you know why? Because they either don't know, they don't have time, they don't believe it matters, or they don't know how. And this was scary. This was a really scary stat for me. Fewer than 2% of your people will ask for help. So if you have 50 people on your team, you're going to have a chance of one person will ask for help. The other 49 will sit there suffering in silence and hoping to learn it through conference calls and osmosis by being part of the team. So I hope this is enough for you guys to want to actually get into the role of coaching, because coaching is nothing more than asking questions. And I know Deb works with you guys a lot on this, so hopefully you can really, and again, the questions are all laid out. It's getting the prospects to, or not the prospects, getting your people to just acknowledge and kind of surface what is actually holding them back. And once you do, you can work through it. You don't have to be, I'm not a certified coach. You don't have to be a certified coach. Anyone can do this, right? Yeah, he's talking about, have you taken the time to calculate the dollar for every no you hear? So yes, I already told you, if I gave you $100 to go call 100 people, you'd make $10,000. You'll make more than that. So in my career, let's pretend that I had to talk to 6,000 people to get 600 to say yes to make 6 million. Do you realize that would have earned me $1,000 for every person I just talked to, whether they said yes or no? 5,400 of them said no. I still got paid an average of $1,000. And why am I saying this? Because you don't even know that I had to get those 5,400 no's to get the 600 yeses that built my, does that make sense? So that's why I'm excited about hearing the word no and teaching people to hear the word no. So coaching, communication, and then I think this is the second last slide. What is coaching? It's not setting goals, that's communication. It's not teaching features and benefits, that's training, right? We have people that. It's not watching them, that's management. It's not saying let's do it or you can do it, that's cheerleading, right? So I am gonna do another second part for, I did this for Rachel's leaders. And if you guys want, I can do it when I get it completed. We can have you hop on. I'm gonna go through how to coach for people. But the bottom line is just what I can say with 100% confidence is I know what's coming, right? Do you guys kind of know what's coming? Does anyone kind of know what's coming? New tools? Let's just pretend, just for fun, that we were gonna have like a new sizzle video, a new 3-minute sizzle video, right? How many people have friends and family in their life that have never bought from you? Anybody? Probably hundreds. What if you just write a list of everyone that has currently buying, has bought in the past, has not bought and said no, or has never said yes or no to you? And what if you got 100 people on that list, and every day you said to 25 people, hey, Sherry, if I send you a 3-minute video, will you watch it? Because my company just did this, and I just want to get, you're so smart, and you really ought, I just want to get your opinion of whether you think this is going to be a valuable tool or not. Could you just ask them their advice to watch the video? Imagine if you had 5 people on your team that sent that to 100 people over the course of 4 or 5 days. You'd have 500 new exposures. Imagine that. Imagine it was a powerful message that gets them going, huh, I actually want to see more. Imagine that. How many people you think will come out of the woodwork to start sharing that video? Because I've seen it. Oh, I mean, I've seen the idea that they're going to have it. So what I'm going to tell you right now is any one of you could be an Elite Pro 9. Any one of you can. You just have to do Elite Pro 9 activities. You just have to think bigger. You got to dream bigger. You got to work harder. You got to, and I think one of the biggest things is people don't dream big enough. When I heard this gal's making 1.2 million a month, I was like, sheesh, what's wrong? What's my problem? You know, like I felt so like that, you know, Eleanor Roosevelt, no one can make you feel without your inferior without your consent. I give you my consent, Stormy. You got it. And, you know, Jessie Lee enrolled. So last thing I'll leave you with is, is Sean and Michelle in here? Did you guys get a Zoom room for the GoPro Recruiting Mastery? So anyway, November 11th, which is really good timing considering that's a little bit after our global convention, Eric Worre, best trainer in network marketing, is going to do a free 7-day intensive boot camp recruiting challenge, 7 days. And he's like, if everyone just enroll one person, he goes, I promise you I'm gonna get the skills and everything. He's never done it for free. He's spending over $1 million in Facebook ads just to get people on. He's like, he wants to put 1 million people into this challenge. And so if you guys want to drop your Zoom room link, if they go to, it's GoPro, you guys have it, GoProRecruitingChallenge.com.
We have it.
You guys have it?
Michelle and Sean are sending it to us. We have it.
You guys
We'll
have it.
send
Okay.
it out to the team.
Yeah, because then if someone decides to buy a GoPro ticket, they will go into your Zoom room. That's the only reason. Like we don't get any spiffs. All the companies like made it. He's not allowed by the industry to pay us. None of us like get any compensation. I don't even think we're getting a free ticket, but I would get everyone on there because when you hear all the things we're launching, the tools and the resources and the customer referral program that I'm so excited for that. The customer referral program is going to be a game changer. When your customers can refer someone, they get something and they get to give something, it's going to explode. So I would recommend everybody to be there the entire convention, own it, learn everything, study it. If you're confused about it, ask. Don't be that 2% suffering quietly, and then take action. Take action. Get the videos to every person you humanly possible can. I mean, my goal is 500 exposures, 500, 1,000 probably by the end of the year, because I'm going to be meeting people all over the place. Be like, hey, can you do me a favor and watch this and tell me what you think? Does this make sense to you? Do you understand this? Is this intriguing to you? Whatever you want. And always give a compliment. And we're going to teach some strategies that, because Eric asked us, he's like, is there anything that you guys are excited about? And I said, yeah, I'm excited about this, you know, the upcoming global. And he gave me a training on exposures for all of us. And I know the pros watched it virtually. He gave us a 20-minute training on how to get get 99% of the people to watch it. So stay tuned for that. So get on it, get everyone on your team on the global and own the process. You guys own it, stand up, be a leader, make sure you understand everything. I already know every detail of the customer referral program because it's so important to me that I've been studying it, because I want to make sure that if anyone is confused about it, that I can teach them how to do it. And when you understand something, it's your value to your team. And that's what a leader does. So you're all leaders. You can all step up. You can all do this. You can all own the process, and make sure that we walk away from global equipped to run and be ready to run. Because I guarantee you, if you do that, your 2021 will be a lot better than your 2020. Let's hope it's all better. So that's all I got for you. Any questions?
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. That was so awesome. I know we went a little bit over, but everybody stood on here, which I love. So valuable. I love that book, Go for No. I mean, I read it when I first started, I remember, and I read the one you're in, the second one that came out, and I'm like, oh, I know her. And then the Angie story is so amazing, but it is, we know we're going to get no's and yeses. So you got to just kind of own it, right? And know you're going to get no's and yeses. But going through those no's, there is a certain amount of no's that will get to a yes. So you know you just got, it's going to happen. Say, thank you for the no, move on. Thank you for the no, move on. Thank you so much, Tara. Appreciate you so much. Carrie, you want to say these parting words before we wrap it up?
Yep. Thank you. Love, love, love it. Marie and I have done Go for No contests, and who can get the most no's, and always the person that gets the most no's also gets the most yeses too, right? So love everything you said. And yes, if you guys are not registered for convention, if you do not have your extra tickets allocated, like get on it. You do not want to miss it. You want to be locked and loaded, and like Tara said, in front of it every single moment. You can watch the breakouts during the gap before the recognition on Friday. Be there, be ready to take action and gather. Like I have been so productive today, just contacting more people. Who else can I contact? Who else can I invite? Who else can I get in there? Like, you don't want to miss this. So super excited. If you knew what we knew, you'd be doing what we're doing. So let's get on it. All right. Thanks guys. Thank you, Tara. Super appreciate you.
Love you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.